Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kristi's Cropping and Creating. I have a very fast and fun idea that I want to share with you today. It's actually taken from a card that I saw posted. So I'm going to take a card and turn it into a scrapbook page. So I hope that you will enjoy watching this very fast and fun idea. Let me switch down to my desktop. Okay, so I have to get the rest of my screen right. Sorry about that. Um, this is the idea, and obviously the card did not have photo holders, and I chose to do a 4¼ by 6¼ photo holder so that I could put a full 4x6. And then these are 4¼ inch squares so that I can put a 4x4 photo on there. And this is the idea. And when I created the sample, I did it with Christmas paper. This is paper that we had called Christmas Spirit. By the way, this is what the card looked like. It was, don't remember what site it was posted on, but it popped up on my Facebook page one day, and I thought that was really cool. I liked the spacing and the monochromatic look. Of course, mine is not completely monochromatic because I do have the plaid and the red and green stripe paper. And then the way I'm going to create this today is by using some winter papers. This was Christmas Spirit from a few years ago, a couple of years ago, maybe 2021. It could have been in 2020 or even 2022, but I'm pretty sure this was from 2021. And today I'm going to use Flurry of Fun, which is a current collection that we have. Some of the papers may have ran out, but they are coming back, so no worries. And I'm going to use these 3 papers, which are all shades of blue. I'm going to use the blue background and the white layer that will be in between. So it's kind of double layered. And the first thing I'm going to do, I've already trimmed down my white cardstock to 11¼ inch square so that it will have an edge to go around. And I want to hollow out my blue piece of paper. See how I hollowed this out? Because it's just covered up. It's just like a double layer of paper. So why not use this paper to help me with my mats, which is what I did here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is hollow out my my very back page, the base page. And I already have my clips set at the 0 inch mark. And oh, that's kind of going off the screen there. Let me try to squeeze it this way. It's y'all just trust me, I'm going to be cutting straight, but the clip is set at the 0 and the 12 because I want to do a 1 inch frame. And since our blade cuts halfway between at 1 inch, with it being set at the 0, it'll start cutting at the 1. So I'm going to place my paper on the 11. Since I'm making a 1 inch frame, this is a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And because I have those clips, I don't cut all the way through. See, it just makes the slit in the page. And then I'm going to turn. I'm going to do this all 4 sides so that it will cut all the way through and make my hollow piece of paper that I'm then going to mount the white cardstock to. You've probably seen this done on one of my videos or on another consultant's videos before, another advisor's videos. I'm sorry I misspoke there. But it can't hurt to always go back over it because sometimes people forget how to do this. And this just makes it really, really easy. So now I have this. I'm looking for my mouse here. So I have this hollowed out, and now I'm going to put this to the side for now, and I'm going to get my white piece back, and I'm going to adhere this to the base. I'm also going to go ahead and take my clips off because I will not need to use them. If y'all want some Creative Memories branded little clips, let me know, and maybe I can make that a prize for one of you guys if you want to reach out to me and let me know that you would like one. I won't send them to just everybody because they do cost money, but like I said, maybe I can use it as a prize for someone if I do some sort of contest. But also reach out and let me know if you don't have an advisor. I would be honored for you to shop on my site. That is creativememories.com/user/KRISTIBOLIN. And I did make this a 1/4 inch frame, so I'm only going to have 1/8 of an inch showing of that blue all the way around. You can obviously do yours different if you would like, but I just wanted just that little bit of the extra color showing there. So, all right, I'm gonna move this over, and the next thing we're gonna do is take our papers, and I'm gonna save time and cut 3 strips at the same time. But in order to do this, I do need to double check to see if the back of my page is directional so that I won't ruin something that I want to use later. So this one is directional because it's got the snow at the bottom. So I'm going to cut from the top, which means I'll turn it that way. This one is a plaid. It is not directional. And let's see, what is this one? This one is just kind of a watercolor, I guess, and it is a stripe. I'm going to want my stripe to be vertical. So again, I'll turn it horizontal to cut off the top. And you're going to need a total of 5 strips. Let me go back this way because I don't want to cut that snowbank off the bottom. I'm going to cut 2 inches cut this at 2 inches, and I'm going to cut through all 3 pieces. And after I do this, and you do have to press a little harder when you're doing so many layers. Again, I'm just saving time. Let me make sure I cut. Oops, I didn't get all the way through this bottom one. All right, now what? What happened? Oh, there it is. Okay. So then I will just need to decide how do I want to lay these out, because I'm going to need 2 more pieces. And I think my thought was to do the lightest color in the middle, but I could also graduate it from the lightest to darkest. So whichever piece is in the middle is not going to need to be cut a second time. Let me think for a second. I believe I will use the dark in the middle and the light. I'm going to use these 2 again. So I'm going to put this one to the side, and I won't be cutting it again. That was the darkest, since I only need 1 piece of that. And let me make sure I'm not cutting through that snowbank again. And I'm going to put this back at the 2 inches. So 5 strips total, 2 inches each. Did get cut through all the way. And while I have these 2 sitting here, I'm going to go ahead and trim these 2 down to 11.5 inches. So I'm going to cut 1 inch off of one end of all 5 of my strips. So 11.5. These 2 are done. And then I'll do the next. I can't get my fingers to work here, y'all. Sorry. I'm going to do the these three at the same time. Again, just to save time. So I've got all three of the remaining strips. I'm going to put them at 11.5 and cut them down by 1/2 of an inch. That's going to go in the middle, up at the second, and then that. Okay. I had thought about corner rounding these strips, but I decided against it when I was doing my sample simply because I felt like with all the other straight edges that I probably didn't need to do that after all. So I'm going to start by placing my top strip and my bottom strip and my middle strip because that will help me in doing the math to, I thought something's not working with my adhesive there for a second there. That's what's wrong. It was running out. That's what always happens when you're videoing. Okay, here we go. When you place your top strip and your bottom strip first, that will help you in measuring where things are going to go. And then also, if you do the middle strip after you do the top and the bottom, then guess what? You can make this one and this one, the second strip and the second and fourth, fit in between the top and the middle. So hopefully y'all follow what I'm trying to say. But anyway, okay, let me center this back on my mat so that I can see. I'm putting this about 1/4 of an inch from the end of the very bottom layer, and this is about, well, not quite 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the white. And then, oh, I didn't get that one. I put this one too far to the left. So because I'm using repositionable, it makes it really easy to fix it. But and then of course I made my bottom layer go crooked. So now I don't have my measurements great on my 13-inch mat. But yeah, that's good. And I'm not a perfectionist. So in the grand scheme of things, if it's a little bit off, it doesn't bother me. If it does bother you, you can certainly fix yours a little bit easier. The math doesn't work out quite right with it being 2-inch strips, 11 3/4 on the size of the white paper, and even the 12 inches. It makes it to where it's not quite 3/8 of an inch of a gap between all these pieces. But the easy thing to know about this middle piece is that the middle of the middle piece is gonna be at the 6, and then you've got the 5 over here on the right, the 7-inch as you're going down the measurements on our 13-inch mat. So 5, 7, 5, and 7. And then I'm just gonna center this piece between those two, and I'll center this piece between those two. And I just noticed, because of the way this paper is, this one looks slightly darker. So I'm going to put it at the bottom so that it'll be a little bit heavier, so to speak, at the bottom rather than the top. Y'all see how fast this is? Okay, and then let's see. Again, I'm kind of eyeballing, but I also know that it's about 3/8 of an inch between each piece as far as the horizontal spacing, and then I'm still not saying that right, the vertical spacing. The horizontal spacing is the same as these bottom pieces, but the space in between it vertically is about 3/8. Last one, and then all I have to do is cut my mats, and we will be done. And hopefully, I apologize, y'all. I just looked up at the screen and saw that my hair may have been in the way for a few minutes, but hopefully you could still see what I'm doing and I wasn't covering it up completely with my head. I got a little string there, probably because of how I had to cut extra on that first layer. Just make sure that's okay. All right. So I've got my 5 strips down. Looks like this went a little bit crooked too. I've got my 5 strips down. I have my piece of paper from the center that was left over, and I'm going to make my mats really quick. The first thing I'm going to do is cut at 4 1/4. You can make yours just 4 inches, or you could even make it 4 1/2 if you wanted to. You should have enough that if you did 2 at 4 1/2, it would still work. But I'm going to do a second cut at 4 1/4. Did I just Yes. I got scared for a minute there that because I was talking about 4 1/2, I may have measured over to 4 1/2. All right, so this is a 4 1/4 square. Out of one of them, make 2 4 1/4 square mats. Put your other paper, put it in a pile or to use later, or just set it to the side. Oh, this one needs to be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Put my trimmer back up. You could probably cut these pieces, by the way, with I'm sure you could use one of your decorative blades to cut the edges of these strips. Why not? That would be fun. I didn't think about it, or I would have done it for this video, but I'm going to place this one a little bit on an angle, and I'm going to angle these going back the other way. And then, since I don't have my pictures to put down here yet, I'm just going to suggest that when you've got your theme, and of course this is Flurries of Fun, and so it is a little bit on the winter side. I'm in South Carolina, so y'all know we hardly ever get any snow around here. um, so I don't know what I'll be using this for. Maybe from when my kids were younger, some of those pictures that I haven't scrapbooked yet, when we would go to the ice skating rink that they have open in our town or in a nearby town for the Christmas season. I could do that. Of course, the few times that we do get snow, I could use this page for some of those pictures. I think, obviously, with it being blues, you could use it for just about anything. It doesn't have to be for snow or even just outdoor activities. But I believe you've got plenty of space for a title up here. You have some room to journal down at the bottom, especially if you do your lighter papers towards the bottom. And because I made these mats 1/4 of an inch bigger, then obviously you're going to be able, let's see if I can bumble through these real quick. Yes. So you'll have a mat around the edge of your photo, as well as the matting of the white. So your strips of paper are matted on the white, and the white is matted on the blue. And I think it just makes for a really fun, quick, easy page that looks great. I'm thumbing through to see if I can find one more 4x4 mat. There we go. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed it. And again, thank you for watching Kristi's Cropping and Creating. If you watch each week, I really do appreciate it. And I know you probably get sick of hearing me say this information, but because my name is spelled different than a lot of Kristi's, and then Bolin is spelled different than how a lot of people think I'm saying it, because it's not bowling like the sport. Bowling, that's not it. And it's not Boland like Bowland, Land. It's just Bolin. So that's why I have to point that out. Again, I would be honored If you need a Creative Memories advisor, I would love to help you. And if you would like to join my team, please reach out to me. I am definitely growing, and I do have a bonus offer for anyone that joins my team this year. So be sure to reach out to me. Y'all have a great one, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Happy cropping.